Hi everyone. Thanks for your interest in Yearbook. This video is intended to be a quick tutorial on how to use our Schoology page, how to access the resources that we have available, how to get into the Herff Jones Yearbook software website, how to upload and tag pictures, and also how to edit pages. So it's going to be a bit of a longer video, but hopefully it will tell you everything you need to know for helping us out with the 2020-2021 yearbook and future yearbooks, hopefully. So when you get to the Schoology page, you will see that there is a tab for resources right around here. That's an important tab. If you don't know the Schoology code, you can pause now and enter this code into your groups section of your Schoology account. If you try to enter it into courses, it will not let you join. So then you're going to go into resources and you're going to see some resources that I have posted here. There's some Herff Jones training videos. Herff Jones is the company that publishes our yearbook. This first one is going to be really important. We're going to use it in a second. And there's also a Google yearbook ladder. We use the Google Sheets page to organize the sequence of our yearbook. So you can see all the spreads, every page number, what's going to be on that page, and then whose responsibility it is to edit that page. So you'll see that many students have signed up for pages, and hopefully when the pictures are available, they'll be able to edit that. We'll talk about pictures though, just a second. Okay, so you're going to want to click the new login site, logging in with Citrix. I would recommend downloading this or keeping it available in another tab, because you're going to need to follow these directions exactly to be able to log in. One other thing that I should say is that in order to access this Herff Jones website, you will need an account. So if you're new to Yearbook and you don't think you have an account or you don't remember your account information, email me, Miss Doyle, and I will get that to you and I will remind you what your account is or make one for you if you need it. But this will be how you access the Yearbook website. So you're going to go to this website right here, www.myhjyearbook.com. And you're going to log in with your eDesign password. I guess it's not going to let me. I'll just type it into a new tab site that we used to use, but we want this one, My HJ Yearbook. Okay, it'll come up like this, but this box will be empty. Now I'm actually going to enter a sample username that I created that's a student account, jsample21. Now your username will match this format. It will be exactly the beginning part of your email. And the password will be your first initial and your last name. So in this case, jsample. Okay, now we're going to sign in, and it should let us. We'll save that password. And you want the 2021 main book when this pops up. One thing I also forgot to say is that you really need to be using Google Chrome. It's very easy to download from the internet, but you cannot be using Safari for this because it will not work. Okay, so when you get in here, this is our sort of overall page. It tells us how many pages we've done. As you can see, we have a lot of work to do. We've submitted 0 pages, and we have up to 160 pages in the yearbook, depending on how many we need. I'll tell you later how you can buy a book. So you want to go into design right off the bat, and you want to hit Launch Citrix. Okay, that's what we're going to hit, Launch Citrix. Now, you will have to, mine popped up because I have already done this before. Yours will not pop up. So you will actually have to go back into the yearbook website. When you hit Launch Citrix, you will see a Microsoft sign-in pop-up and a password. This is not your Oakland Catholic username and password. This is different, and it's important that you enter it correctly. You need to enter your username for the yearbook website. So like I just said, it is probably your first initial and your last name followed by the year of your graduation. In the case of our fictional student Jane Sample, it's jsample21 because, you know, let's imagine she's a senior. So you will need to type in whatever your username is, jdoe21, jsample21. If you're a freshman, it'll be 24. And you need to type that plus at users.hjedesign.com. You need to copy that exactly into the username. Your password will be this, so you should copy this. It's not actually letting me copy it, so you may have to write it down. Include the capital letter at the beginning, CMYK04785. This is a unique password for Oakland Catholic. It will allow you to access our yearbook, okay? Then you will see something similar to what I just showed you. So when you get on there, we'll hit Launch Citrix. You'll get a separate tab that says Citrix Workspace. And if you've logged in properly, there will be an option for you to click Herf Jones eDesign. That is our yearbook website. Now, I know this is a couple extra steps, but it has to be done in order to edit the yearbook. You save the password, though, in the Microsoft login, and then you don't have to re-enter that every single time. But just know that if you forget how to do this, the directions are right in resources. You can just click here, and you can see step by step how to do this properly. Okay, so let's go back to our Citrix workspace. We're going to click the Herf Jones eDesign website. It does take some time, so you have to be patient, but once you get in there, it should be easy. Now, it's going to prompt you to log in again. It always does this. So I'm going to log in using my same login, as will you. Yours will be different. You want to use your login and not Jane's sample, because your login connects the work that you've done on the yearbook to your name, and that's important. So we hit sign in, and you're about to see the yearbook website that actually can be edited. So this is it. You notice some things across the top. Some of these things you will not be able to access, but you do have access to the book, which is the most important, and then the library, which is where you're going to upload pictures. So this is what we call the ladder. What you're looking at is the plan for the entire yearbook and the layout in a page-by-page setup. You should have access to all of these pages, but if it's not letting you in, let me know and I will help you there. So before we get into how to edit the pages, I just want to tell you how you can upload pictures to our yearbook website. One thing I should add is that the image uploader is not connected to the Citrix workspace. So it looks like for students, the way that you're going to upload pictures is by going into the Design tab and going into Image Uploader. It will take you to a website that looks like this, and you can hit you want to be uploading Candids, right? You want to check that it's Candids uploader. There will never be a reason for you to be uploading portraits. Portraits are always uploaded by the moderators because they come directly from Simply Sisters and they have to be uploaded a specific way. So you're going to want to make sure that Candids is checked, and then you're going to hit upload from my device. It will let you upload up to 100 images at a time. So I'm going to change this so it's in the icon section. This is my yearbook folder. I have all these miscellaneous yearbook pictures. So I'm going to highlight them and just drag them over. You can see that I'm dragging in 54 pictures into the image uploader. You can see that it's uploading now, 13%. And so we're going to wait, and then I will explain to you how to tag the pictures. Now, tagging is very important because, say you upload a picture of the cross-country team, and then you go to make the cross-country page, or even more likely, somebody else goes to make the cross-country page. They want to be able to find all. A lot of our pictures come from Simply Sisters. They are our school photographers. They take, of course, all the portraits, but they also go to all the sports events, or a lot of the sports events, and they upload those. This is a unique challenge this year because of COVID, so they weren't able to go to all the games, but the games that they were able to go to, we will have pictures from that. If you're a member of a sport or a club and you have your own photos, just check to make sure that it's something that you would want in the yearbook, and then send it to us, and we're happy to include it. It definitely makes the yearbook more exciting if a lot of people submit different pictures, so we get a lot more pictures. So we are going to now leave the uploader section, and we're going to go into the Herf Jones website. It keeps adjusting the screen resolution. Now we can go into images. Now I just uploaded all those images. Let's make sure that they're showing up. So I'm going to do an advanced, actually no. I'm going to go into data view right here, if you can see me doing this. Now, if you click on the date and you just touch that top of that column, it will show you which pictures have been uploaded most recently. So if you're uploading the pictures, you will see them in here. Now let's go back into the tile view so I can show you how to tag. Okay, now I'm going to click on this picture right here. This is a cross-country picture. I've been mentioning cross-country a lot. So we have these cross-country pictures. Now I'm going to find all the ones I can find that are cross-country here. Now, if you want to select more than one at a time, you're going to have to hit the Command key and hold it down, and it will let you, as long as you're holding it, it will let you select more pictures. So I'm scrolling to find the other cross-country pictures that I know that I just uploaded. So there's one, there's another, and that's good for now. So we're going to go over to the topics, and we're going to click athletics because these are athletics pictures, but then we're also going to go over to the keywords, and we're going to add, somebody else has already added it. So we'll just hit cross-country, and there you go, we have cross-country pictures. Now say that it was a new thing, I would type it up here and then hit add, and it would add the keyword. So that's really nice. That makes it really easy. You'll see whenever we go to edit the page, and when I do this, I will actually go into cross country so you can see. It makes it really easy for you to find the pictures that you just added. So let's get into editing. Let's talk a little bit about that. So I'm going to go into the book. Okay, now as I mentioned before, this is our layout and this is our plan for this year's yearbook. You can go through and see all of these pages that have been edited. Now you can see the difference between, say, a page like Band and Color Guard, which has this template on it, and Cross Country, which has not been touched yet. So I'm going to show you how to edit that Cross Country page, add a template, do everything that we need to do on the page. You'll see that one of the good things about this is that whoever has been adding these templates, they're not adding the same template per page. You don't want every page to look identical. You want to have different templates. So let's go into Cross Country right here. We're going to click Edit. If it doesn't let you do this, it means you probably haven't been granted access to the page. I can easily change that. You're going to click this other side that says click to edit both pages in the spread. So now that we've done that, we want to go over to the side. This is how we get access to our templates and art in our pictures. So I'm going to go, if you hover over these, you can see what they are in case you forget. And so let's go into templates. Let's click on templates. These are all templates that are approved for the use of our theme. Okay, so they're all on brand for what we plan to do. So you can click any of them. And let's find one that looks kind of cool. Let's use this one. You just drag it over. If you want to get rid of it, I just do Command Z, but you can also just remove it on your own. Now there's a lot of you can leave this art here. This is kind of cool. We don't usually do student features. I'm just going to delete this. Delete this. Now I will say we don't want our pages to be 100% pictures. We would like some writing. So if you know who the coach is or you know who the captains are, we prefer actually students. So captains or seniors who are on the team who would like to provide a write-up, a paragraph about their season, something like that. So it's really nice if you're doing like the cross-country picture, you may want to reach out to one of the seniors who are on the cross-country team. So we're going to give this a title and just say cross-country. Now I actually think that we sometimes call this page OCXC because that's what the cross-country team goes by, but for now we will just leave it as cross country, and we'll put this up here so it's right across the top. Now this picture right here will be the team photo, and we usually always have the team photo as about half the page, give or take. And I'm going to delete this sub headline. I don't, it's up to you if you want one. You can definitely be original here. And we'll add this to the bottom because that's where we'll put everybody's names once we get the photo. And then we just kind of start adding these. Now these gray boxes, these are containers for pictures. So you can add one by going up here and clicking on the rectangle tool and it will add these. But I just like to hit Command C and just copy it and then hit Command V and paste. And it will let you do that. And then you can change the shape of them. So if you enter the picture and it doesn't fit in the box, or it's cutting off the major part of the picture, you can definitely change them. So it gives you a lot of flexibility here. It's really difficult to mess something up, so definitely feel free to play around. And if you feel like you have done something that you didn't intend to do or you're not sure what happened, you can just email me and I can try and fix it. But we rarely have anything like that happen. So anyway, as you can see, I'm just kind of changing the shapes of these boxes. It's really unlikely that we'll have a picture that would fit in this box, so I'm just changing the size. You don't want to make them too tiny. Anyway, I'm not going to do this for the whole thing. Whoever edits this page can do more here. Sometimes I get carried away making the templates. But you want to make sure on a page like this where it's just one cross-country picture, you want to make sure that you have adequate representation from both JV and varsity. So let's talk about how to get the pictures into the pages. So you're going to click on this first one right here where it says images. You don't want to click on the portraits one because once again, those will be headshots. I haven't uploaded any yet, but those will be the pictures that the moderators take care of in the front of the book that have all the seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen, and faculty. But in here, now this is where our tagging is going to come in handy. Okay, now I can just go up to the search bar and type in cross country and hit enter. And now it's going to search all of the pictures that have been uploaded and find the ones that have been tagged as cross country. Trust me, if you don't tag your pictures, your life will be so much harder. It's much easier just to tag them. Let's take this one. This is a cool picture and they have their masks on, so that's really important. Now we can see that this will happen sometimes. This is a triangle that's suggesting that the picture might be low resolution. This can happen if you upload pictures that are screenshots or you upload pictures that are just low quality from a bad camera or from a phone camera that isn't really that good. And you can sometimes get the triangle. The triangle doesn't always mean that you can't use the picture, but what it does mean is that it would be better if the picture were smaller. Now, in this case, we can edit the shell that we've put it in to kind of make it fit. And you'll get better at this the more you try. You want to be able to fix this. I don't know why. Sometimes even for me, it's just something that I just have to play around with and just see what I'm doing wrong here. But okay, so this is good for now. Now, if you really want to check, I can tell you that the bigger the picture, the more likely you'll get this triangle. So like, let's take one of these team pictures here. Actually, I'm going to take this Halloween one, and I'm going to try and put it in the team picture. Now, we would never use this as a team picture. We would only use official Simply Sisters pictures for team pictures. But if we put that in there, obviously it's going to be too low res. Now, let me show you the difference between this one and that one. This one is stretched over a huge portion of the page. So if you're going to use a big picture, it really needs to be like from a professional camera or taken with really high resolution. Sometimes the iPhone pictures work, sometimes they don't. So I want to show you what you can do to make sure that this picture is okay. If you click File and you click Create High Res or Low Res PDF, high res is better, but it will take some time to load. This is going to create a printable picture that will show what this will look like when we print it. So it gives you a better sense of if this is going to be pixelated or not. Because trust me, you do not want a yearbook that has blurry pictures. It will make your yearbook not fun to look at if all the pictures are blurry. So this one isn't, okay, let's scroll up. This is what it will look like when we print it in the yearbook. It's not too bad. And most of the times you're going to get something like this. But I would tell you that when you put the Simply Sisters one in, it will be much sharper and it will be a better image to look at. So especially in the big pictures, you want to avoid ever seeing that triangle. Now down here, this one looks totally fine. I think we could definitely leave that one there. So not every triangle with the low resolution flag is going to be a bad thing. Although it's best to avoid it if you can. Okay, so now we're back on the page. I am going to delete this picture and we'll put in the real one. Now this is the one that Simply Sisters created. Let's just drag this in. There we go. And we can crop it so that it doesn't have that text. I mean, I like that they put the text on the bottom. I don't think that's a horrible thing, but I think that it will fit better in the space if we don't have it. We already have a label at the top. I'm going to have to definitely play around with that. I will say like the cropping features sometimes just take some skill at, or practice really, at getting them right to make sure you don't cut off any people or anything like that. All right, let's put this one in here. There's a good picture of the JV team. We don't caption all of our pictures, but I do think that it's nice to have some picture captions here. For instance, I didn't upload the picture of her, but there's some seniors on the team, and they should be, I think that, spotlighting the seniors is a good idea. Maybe some quotes from some seniors are good to have on the page and things like that. So now you've successfully edited the page. Now it's not complete yet. It'll be complete when all the pictures are filled. But say that the template looks like this and you don't really like the template, you wish there were more tiny pictures, you can definitely do that. You can make these smaller. You can add a bunch of them to the page, just so it looks good, aesthetically pleasing. You can even add in some additional art. You can go into mods, and these are all kind of just cool little things. Now, we don't use a lot of these text add-ins, but you could on some of the collage pages, you could add those in. Let's say we want some more art. Let's put this in here, this little, there you go, and there you go. It's just right there, and if you want it to be all the way in the back, you can move these to the back. You can hit Object, Send to Back, and it will go behind the picture. So then it's not covering your picture. Same with this, like this is a picture and we want this to be in front of the art, so we can actually touch on the picture and we can say Object, Bring Forward, or bring to Front. Okay. So this is pretty much it. Now there's some other tools over here that you may or may not want to use. We never use the pen tool. We do use the text tool, so you would add in text just like this. Now be careful with text that you're not putting it over top of this art and then you really won't be able to see it very well. If you need to edit or resize anything, you're going to want to touch on this arrow up here. Okay. Now, when you think you're finished working on the page for that day or for that session, you want to hit File, Save. Now, if you don't save it, you'll lose the work. So if you think you're going to be like multitasking, working on some other things at the same time, you want to save that so it doesn't log you out. So let's hit return to book view. And then I just want to show you when you have finished the picture and it is time for you to be done with it, you hit this button that says send to proof. Now that lets us look over it and proofread it and make sure that everything's okay. But you do want to send it to proof when you're finished. And that's really it. That's how you edit the yearbook. I want to show you something really quickly. I'm going to open this. So I just want to tell you some do's and don'ts of how to make really good yearbook pictures and pages. Of course, if you're just in it to upload pictures because you're a photographer and you don't really have an interest in editing pages, that's totally fine. But if you are going to edit pages, it's best to follow these tips so that the pages are great. So you should find a balance. Do find a balance of white space on the page. So you don't have to necessarily fill the entire page from corner to corner with pictures. Pay attention to the lines that show you when it's going to be cut off in printing, but definitely don't be afraid to leave some white space. Don't make every page identical. Even though there are templates, you don't want to use the same template for like 4 pages in a row. That makes the book kind of boring. Do use text on your pages. Text is not a bad thing. Trust me, when you go back to look at your book after 10 years, you're going to want to know what was going on and not just look at the pictures. You're going to want student input and quotes and articles that tell what the year was like. So don't be afraid to do a write-up. You are the creator of that page and you have the authority to write something about what's going on. You can say, this was a fun day. This was the best day of my senior year. So don't be afraid to use text. You'll appreciate it later. Do make sure that you have a good variety of types of photos. So instead of just having all posed pictures, you're going to want some candid pictures because then that makes us, as the audience who looks at this yearbook, then feel like we're in the moment and we're in the picture and we know what's going on an everyday occurrence. Don't use screenshots or avoid them. Only use them if you're using a very, very tiny image because they will show up in low res. They're more likely to be fuzzy. So you want to avoid that. So let me show you some great pages in the past that have looked good. Now I want to point out some things we can fix. These are the Kairos pages from the 2018-2019 yearbook. They have quotes. I think that we could probably do with a little bit more text. This is like the theme of the weekend, so it's important that that is clear like this. We have dates, which are nice. We have the titles of the pages very clearly marked. But take a look at this photo right here. This is not the best photo to use because it's very blurry. And so, this one is good because it's very crisp, very clear, but this one not so great. We would have preferred to have a higher resolution picture there. So that is a bad part about this page. But other than that, it's pretty good. Like I said, I think it could deal with some more text, some student quotes, some student experiences, but it's a pretty good page. I like the Chicago one a lot. The good thing I really like about this is that it has a quote from Annie, who is a member of the cast. It has a lot of different pictures. It also has stage crew pictures. So you're seeing people who were on stage, people who were behind the scenes. Do not forget to include everybody. If you're doing sports pages, you should have JV and varsity. You just really don't want to leave people out. Also, if you're doing a sport, you don't want to include the same 3 people in every photo. You want to make sure that this is representative of everybody who does the sport or the performance. So these are good because they have pictures of everybody. This is one of my favorite pages from the 2019 yearbook. This is a great soccer page. I love how many candid shots there are on this page. This is so good. Also, this is the year that the soccer team won WPL champions. This is a big accomplishment for them. So if you're covering a team that had a great season and they won something, definitely mention that on the page. Don't be afraid to use that. This is a quote from Caroline Richard where she talks about how great this season was for them. We have the JV and the varsity pictures. You're going to want to check to make sure you're using the right one. And we have all of these candid pictures. Moments of glory and victory, candid shots from just being on the sidelines of the games. I love this page. This is such a good page. Definitely take this into consideration when you're creating the sports pages.